you get, you know, a truck going past. If you get to that point and still your method is not being done, then you use the money situation. You say, okay, fine. Anything that is not communicated to me first, I'm not paying. That will quickly stop it, because money seems to be the universal language everywhere. So if you say, like, you know what, okay, you're taking some, I've said it a few times, you're not letting me know, you ain't even gonna say all that bit. You say, okay, any bit that the woman doesn't see, I'm not paying. That will quickly, like, solve it, because then they will have to have proof. So as I said, it's been done on trust, and you have to kind of accept, and you have to prepare to kind of go for that. When you get to a point where you've kind of got a bit of trustworthiness, then you can do that. My friend yesterday, the one that I said has got built a huge mansion, and he seems to be doing okay, and he's using the proceeds from here. All through the month he was by his workplace. He said to supervise it. It's mainly to supervise, to see whether they're doing their work right, as opposed to kind of worrying about what they're going to take. Because his work that he's got, he was working remotely, taking a few phone calls. And then I said, wow, you're letting people just go around and literally just kind of not, you're leaving your employees to do their work. And what he said to me was that no matter how they steal, they're not going to be on the same level. That's what he said. And he said, just because they're going to steal like a few CDs shouldn't mean I should just kill myself and literally just worry myself, create stress for myself. So that's the method that he's got to, and it seems to work. And I have a truck. Alaji, boss, good afternoon. You have a call? Yeah. And literally, that's what he said. This man here, for these 3 shops and the one on top, he's out in some wedding thing. I'll show you here as well. Look, these blocks. Okay, they don't appear to be around because they'll come later, because maybe the sun is hot. They're gonna do all of that, and he's not there supervising. So it looks like a way to kind of survive here and work here is eventually, and I know some lady as well that's doing so well in Taos with her husband, and she hasn't taken a day off ever. The day she took off was for her mom's funeral, and even with that they closed the shop because he doesn't trust anyone. So that could also work as well, but all that it means is that you've literally your time, again, I told you, something has to give. So all that manner was under the sun that you're working, you might be doing well financially, but what did it cost you? And the husband was saying, when we were having a discussion with them two, that basically you're gonna have to get to a point where you trust someone and also teach them the work as well, so that when you're not around, you can create systems and layers as well. All the people, and I'm included, everyone that's worried about, you can't do business in Ghana and everything. When you go to work, they have systems in place. So try and put systems in place here. If you have a system in place, if the guy does forest bureau stuff, so if, for example, he says to them, I need you to trade every dollar for yesterday I think he was doing at 760, and he says, you know what, the guy comes in, sell it at 760. That's all he needs to have. Then if someone else comes in and says, if someone goes in there and then the guy gives it to him for, I don't know, 680, all he cares is that he gets his 760 back. He ain't go watch too much about the little extra money that the guy's got, because you can't follow that. That's the peace of mind he's talking about. Basically what he's saying is, I can't watch everything. That's extra stress, and he's not coming all the way here to do stress. So there's levels in which you can do things, you know. As I said, next door he's got the block factory, 3 hardware stores, thing on top. He's gonna do a thing on top, a food place on top, and he's not around. He's not around all the time. So, you know, even though I was kind of thinking about the cement, the difference, obviously, me kind of being here as much with the cement and stuff like that, is they're creating a building, and I don't want it to collapse. So therefore, I have to make sure that enough cement goes inside. But eventually, as time goes on, I'll get to know who's like trustworthy and who's not. You know, that's like everywhere else in the world. So I think somehow we have to kind of bring that element when we kind of move here. Make sure that we're not too hung up on the little 1 cedi that someone's going to take. Yeah, if you're paying someone 600 Ghana cedis a month, the hell you expect? You're almost encouraging them. You're almost like encouraging them to kind of take some, because you're paying them so little. Not that I'm saying they justify for doing it, but what I'm saying is having a fair pay, maybe taking an interest in their life, your children's life, giving them some time off and everything, then they know that you care. You understand? Then they know that you care about them. And when you care about someone, when they're taking something from you, it's not as much. But when you don't, and you bring your strictness thing here, I need to be like this, I need to monitor everything, blah blah, mate, they will do their work, but when they're taking it, they won't care, because you didn't care. So that's the difference in the two. As you can see, more oil being applied. They're gonna do the casting now. I think they're gonna hold the few down, and then they're just gonna hold the few down as well. That's gonna happen. That's what's gonna work. So yeah, that's the kind of little things you kind of need to bear in mind as well. How you care about human relationships here, it matters. You can't come over strict. You can come, you can be vigilant and put systems in place. So one thing I've noticed when I go to shops, here, say I go to buy iron rods and cement, they leave the collection of the money to one person, and the people giving you the goods will not give you the goods until they get a receipt. So it works. They got things in play. What happens is, say I go to buy cement, I pay for it, they give me a receipt, then I go to collect. Then I go to collect it from people. If I don't do that, if I don't do it like that, then it doesn't work. Yeah, if I don't do it like that, then it doesn't work. Then what normally happens is, so they do have system in place, they do know what's happening, they do know how things go, and then that way there's only one person collecting it. That's it. Normally the person that owns it, or they're, you know, someone that they can trust and stuff like that. Alright, good afternoon. Okay, 1 minute, 2 there.